Who wants to say the first bit of the episode? Mark, why don't you do it? Mark, you do an intro for once.
Oh my God! What would I say doing an intro?
We always have to do it. I'm running out of ways to dismantle Sam's intros. I don't have any clever ways to interrupt him anymore. Like, it's always like, welcome to Blink-185, and I'm like, oh, really? But I'm like, run out of ways to do that. There's nothing. And then we're like, this is a Sclusie. Like, I don't know how to intro. Mark, you take the floor, please.
Oh my God.
Mark, why don't you tell us if you have any intention of attending this summer's Saints and Sinners tour live in Toronto and I think 2 or 3 other very small towns around Toronto featuring Big Wreck, the Tea Party, Moist, and the Headstones.
You should be opening that with a salon. That's what it's called, right?
I should honestly be doing a reading to open those. That'd be horrible.
Could you imagine like that kind of CanCon crowd forcing them to sit through a reading?
I don't know. It's probably like people who have a hard time staying on their feet for too long at a concert. So it might be sort of a nice way to kind of get them in the mood a little bit.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, if it would give people also the opportunity to sit down, I'm sure they'd be very receptive to it.
So we're here with Mark Teo. We're here with Sam Sutherland. We're just old pals having a little chat, and we just happened to hit record.
But isn't that what the best podcasts are like?
Yeah, unlike our normal stuffy vibe that we put out.
Too well researched. I gotta say, guys, the Saints and Sinners tour is actually going all the way across Canada. The South Okanagan Event Center in Penticton, Canada. Is that near you, Josiah?
What did you just say? Are you trying to say Penticton?
Yeah.
And that's not near me because I live in Montreal.
but then they're playing at the Abbotsford Center. This is one of those Canadian tours that goes to like literally every town. 2 shows at the NMAX Center in Lethbridge. What even is NMAX?
You don't know what NMAX is? Motherfucker doesn't know what NMAX is?
Oh man, that is the most Eastern shit ever.
Okay, listen. The reason that this is relevant to all of you Australians listening is that these are all washed-up Canadian bands that Mark Teo, the compman, wrote about in his compilation book. I already forget what it's called.
Oh my God!
Shine. It's called Shine by Mark Teo. I'm looking at it right
now. Shine. Go buy it. Give me some money.
Go pick it up at your local Indigo.
Mark, you've become kind of like famous as the compman. I feel like between the last version of this and this version, didn't like Toby from Red Scare email me to be like, hook me up with the compman? Like, yeah, right? I feel like I forwarded you that email.
He most definitely did. And then he sent me like last Red Scare comp, and I was like, thanks. Like,
are you going to write a book about that?
Yeah, sure. Why not? No, I only write books exclusively about like Canadian bands that tour the Bible Belt now in BC.
There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than knowing that publicists have discovered the pod. Like, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. Of all the sort of fandoms that sort of compose the nation, Publicis is definitely the most toxic.
If there are any publicists in the nation, and I know I was going to say we're behind the paywall, but we're not yet, but I'll say it publicly. If there are any publicists listening to this right now, get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome.
You are not welcome. This is an inclusive space for everyone outside of Publicis.
Exactly.
This is the right episode to be doing this thing. I know we're like several episodes late, but if you're in marketing or advertising, kill yourself. We're really carrying a theme through.
So we're here with the compman. Wait, I want to ask, because both of you are little book boys. What's it like to do a reading?
Personally, when I published my first book, Perfect Youth, The Birth of Canadian Punk, 2012 ECW Press.
Do you know the ISBN? Do you know it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have it tattooed on me.
Like a barcode tattoo?
Yeah. But it's like deeper. So I found the idea of like reading, because anytime I've I don't go to a lot of literary events, but I find people reading quite boring and like the most bullshit thing you could do. And so all I would ever do would just be like, if I had like 5 minutes at some sort of event where I was supposed to be promoting the book, just kind of get up and basically do the pod. Like I would just talk shit for 5 or 10 minutes. And I don't think I sold any more books, but I probably didn't sell too many fewer. So that's my approach to reading. I don't know about you, Mark, which is that I don't do it in public, basically.
I mean, I found it deeply horrifying when I did the reading for Shine, how much his compilation came to define Canadian alternative music and sell a zillion copies. I actually had to open up like the Amazon I was looking for because I didn't remember the name of my book. But I had a nice conversation with noted pageman Josh O'Kane about the book, and I have a chapter in my book which is basically just like moist fanfic, and that's the part I read. And I mean, it was deeply horrifying, but it was if there was like a passage to read, it would be that one.
Did anyone start jacking off?
The most fanfic was your fanfic. I wanted that should be very, very clear to people.
It was my fanfic about David Usher.
If you're not from Canada, just look up moist David Usher and like watch the videos. And I don't care what you got down there genitals wise, you're gonna get wet. Absolutely.
I'm trying to find the photo. I did one reading event at Koi Fest in Kitchener, which was like this time, Mark, I don't know if you remember when like every small town around Toronto like decided to have a punk festival that also had a conference, and so it was like in the basement of the Kitchener City Hall or something, and then there was 10 people speaking to like maybe 9 people, but the headline speaker that day was Stephen Page of the Bare Naked Ladies, who I don't believe that the Bare Naked Ladies unfortunately weren't a mention in your book, but it was still, I got a picture of me and Stephen Page, which was like maybe the highlight of putting out a book about punk bands from the 70s.
That would be like a forever profile pic for sure.
Well, enough about books.
We can't have so much trouble finding it. Or so Josiah, tell us about the reading that you did, for your book.
Wow, Sam. After all we've been through.
That's right.
After the amount of times you pushed me to finish another book pitch.
Listen, it took me years. That book pitch is coming back. I'm going to take a lot of credit for your success in publishing.
I think if someone doesn't agree to a book pitch right away, then I hope that they don't ever agree to it, because like definitely 3 days after submitting it, I was like, God, I hope I don't have to write this.
I made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, so it all turned out for the best.
That's the correct way to feel. I deeply hated writing a book, as I'm sure my publishers at Eternal Cavalier Press, shout out, would know. It was a deeply. I don't know what was your experience like, Sam?
I hated it. It was terrible.
It fucking sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure I've said this before in the pod. Like I had a contract for a second book, and I just never written it because I hate doing it.
Oh, you have a contract for a second book?
Yeah, didn't you hear how much he emphasized the words "my first book"?
Yeah. That. I mean, I earned that drop.
But we're here not to talk books, but in fact the exact opposite of knowledge and literary pursuits, which is, of course, short music for short people. This has been somehow one of the most grueling aspects of the entire pod thus far.
I dread it more than anything else to do with the pod, for sure. I look forward to chatting with you, Mark, and that's literally it.
I think it's because you're worried. It's like it's such a quick hit. We're doing like quick hit bridge burning as we go through it. Like we're just like
yeah, that's totally it.
The vast net of people we are potentially ruining opportunities with is so large and so thorough.
I love it. Let's alienate some people.
Let's do it. So we've done, I would say, probably 5 hours on this compilation by now. And the last time we did it was a year ago. And the last time we tried
was it that long ago?
It was over a year ago, because it was a year to the day from the last time we tried to do this, when my mic was broken. The computer that I had taken notes on last time has since been, of course, destroyed by UPS. So I have no notes. I'm going into this blind. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to do it. So this is part 3, maybe of 3 of short music for short people. So if you want to hear us talk about the latter third of this relentless compilation, you got to hit up patreon.com/Blink155. Fellas, let's go behind the paywall.
That was good, man.
Thank you.
Oh man,
Was that good?
Yeah. I was like, whose pod am I on right now?
I like saying
man,
fellas.
you are like a bitch man.
I am. Did you just call me a bitch, man?